everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm up here in an undisclosed location. I'm not going to specify where because the viewer that gave me this location, he told me not to tell anybody else. And so I'm going to not tell anybody else. It took me a couple hours to get here and I'm looking for diamond ore. I'm looking for kimberlites. And I'm scoping around all over the place, especially where trees have been uprooted and the fresh dirt is underneath. I'm trying to look around there, and there is a big bird right down there. I don't know if you can see him, but he sees me. I don't know what kind of bird it is. He looks about the size of a chicken. There are some interesting rocks in this area. Like this is obviously quartz right here. Some nice looking stuff coming out of this granite. These areas that I am around are full of this stuff, supposedly. So I'll keep looking around. If I find something, I'll be sure to turn the camera back on. If this fails, I'm still going to go ahead, go down to the river and prospect, because diamonds, supposedly, when you pan for diamonds, it's the same thing as panning for gold. The diamonds hide in the same areas that gold would, so I'm pretty good at spotting those areas out. So, hope you guys enjoy the video. Sounds like a grouse. I'm not sure what kind of bird that is, but I flushed him out. He flew from down here up into that tree. Pretty big. There's an oldie. Well, you know it's almost a rule in one of my videos. You should find an old Coors can, and this one was on the surface. I don't know if you could see it, but that is a Coors can. It's got the soldered seam and everything. Look at that thing. That is an oldie right there. I'm not going to take it with me. But yeah, that is the curse of this channel. I always find a Coors can, especially when metal detecting. Alright, so I've been hiking around for quite a while. All the gullies, the low points, around the bases of rocks. I've been looking at uprooted trees where there's big natural holes in the ground. And I don't see any strange clay layers or any other signs really of diamond ore. The only signs that I have would be from this picture here. I'll show you. I am right next to a lake just like this. You can see that white around the edges. That is a telltale sign of a kimberlite pipe. That is where these kimberlites come from, where the diamond ore comes from, and I'm right next to one of those. And this is a stream leading out of that lake. So this is the spot where I should be finding them, but I am not, and the creek bed is actually dry. And it's full of dirt, so I can't get down to where the rocks and cobbles are. So I'm going to go ahead to a different area, a couple miles away, and try actually panning for the stuff and see if we could find some actual diamonds that way. Seems like we're skunking out on kimberlites, but if I find anything in the meantime, I'm heading back to the car. If I find anything in the meantime, I'll turn the camera back on and, of course, show everybody. I mean, I'm certainly finding some pretty interesting rocks. This is some kind, it's like a sandstone mixed with quartz. Look at the stuff in there. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of that laying around. See? Maybe some of you rock guys can tell me what this stuff is. See, here's what I'm talking about. The tree falls over, pulls up all of this dirt. It would take me a half hour to dig something like this. So I'll just dig around in here and look for interesting things. Like right here, here's a bit of quartz. Some more of that quartz mixture stuff. It's pretty brittle. I could easily bust this up with another rock or something. Easily breaks apart in your hands. But I don't see these kimberlites. Nothing yet. And it's raining out, so they should be washed clean if they were in here. Alright, we'll keep looking. Not giving up yet. Here's another uprooted tree. It's a really nice piece of some type of quartz. I think I'm going to take that piece home with me. Here's another one. That's pretty cool. Nice. Here's another piece right here in the side of the tree. They're just all over the place. Up here. Look at that one. It's big hunks of quartz. Here's a big old tree that got uprooted. I want to take a closer look at this one too. What is this? See, these are the ones I'm not sure about. I've never seen rocks that look like that. So I don't know what that is. Well guys, I am in the remote middle of nowhere. I'm surprised my car made it down to this spot. There is a dirt road, well, a rock road, just, it's like basically a four-wheel drive trail. I don't know how my little Mazda made it through that, but this has that white ring around it. There is a river up here that I want to go prospect, so I did bring my classifier, a bucket, pan, and my shovel. So once we get to the river, we'll see what we can find. All right, well, we made it down here to the river. We're gonna go ahead and start digging here behind one of these boulders. The water's coming from this way. So we're gonna look around a bit, find a nice big boulder, start digging, see what we can find. I'll take the concentrates home and pan them out there. All right, so I found this perfect little spot here. You can see where there's this big flat rock. And right behind it, there's all these bigger rocks getting stuck behind it. I mean, it's full of good spots here. But this one here, I can easily shovel it out, shovel it into a bucket, classify it, and then we can pan it down and see if there's anything in it. Pulling some pretty awesome looking rocks out of here. And here's the second sample pan I'm doing. I'm finding some garnets. Not seeing any gold. Not seeing anything out of the ordinary. Bigger garnets, I guess. I mean, that's the only thing that's out of the ordinary. I'm not seeing too much in here so far. Let's keep panning it. I mean, there's a lot of black sands here, that's for sure. There's a lot. All right, so this pan here, right at my fingertip, there's a little metal flake. It's not gold. It's not mica. It's too heavy to be mica. I mean, it's just a little flake, but I don't know, that's something different, I guess. I'm going to finish off this sample that I got from this spot and try a different one. Now, I'm being really careful to go through my classified stuff. I am finding the usual little pieces of quartz, stuff like that. All right, another pan. Let's see if we got any luck with this one. A lot of garnets coming down. And that garnet right there isn't that little flake of a garnet right there. That's about the only interesting thing I seem to be finding in this stuff. Oh well. And here's a little gravel bar here. I'm going to dig right where the bigger rocks would be. That would normally be where the paste streak would be for gold. So I'm going to sample around here, see if we can find something. I pulled these two interesting rocks out of the classifier. This one has like blue in it. It's pretty neat. And this really dark piece of quartz. All right, so this is interesting. This was one of the heavies. This little white thing here. Not sure what it is. Other quartz and stuff have flowed off, and this stayed at the bottom. I'm gonna hold on to that. I'll keep panning it down. Yeah, like what is that thing? This is also one of the heavies. Where'd it go? Look at that, it has little metal flakes in it. See that? It's pretty cool. This here was one of the heavies. Little green stone. Alright, well it's starting to get dark and I have a long hike to get out of here and an even longer drive home. If I can even get my car out of here. See you guys at home, I guess. I'm gonna get as much of this stuff as I can and bring it with me. It's starting to rain too, so I don't have a rain jacket. All right, well, I'm headed out. It's starting to get dark. I brought some concentrates home with me. And yeah, I'm just hoping I can get out of here as far as with the vehicle. Because going downhill on some of that stuff was easy. But getting up and out of there, it'll be interesting to find out what happens. Lots of moose poop. So this is what a moose trail looks like. You can see the moose tracks too. How do I get out of here? Uh-oh. So here's the concentrates all dried out here at home. I do have my magnet. It's just a strong neodymium magnet on the end of a nut driver. Inside of a silver dollar tube, and that way I can just pick up the magnetite and magnetic stuff and separate it easily. So let's do that, and then we'll classify it and pan it down, see what we got in here. Alright, so this was everything that came out with the magnet, and I went over it twice, and this is the stuff that didn't pick up the second time. So this is like slightly magnetic. If I hold a magnet right on it, it picks it up. You see? But for the most part, this stuff could all be panned out, and there's probably like a lot of hematite in there, because the hematite is less magnetic than the iron, the black sands, the magnetite and everything. So yeah, even this little piece here, it's kind of green. You know, it's got iron, or it's got magnetic properties there, so it's magnetic. So I always save my black sands. I'll put it in this empty container. So here I have a +20 classifier. We're going to classify this stuff. And we're going to carefully inspect this stuff in the plus 20. Who knows what we'll find in here. All right, so here's the plus 20 stuff. I'm going to go ahead and pick out all the bigger rocks, and we'll set these on the side. If anybody can identify any of this stuff, that would be awesome. Some of it's green, some of it's got obvious little flakes of like mica, looks like in there. Some quartz. Yeah, we'll put this on the side and we'll pan out the smaller stuff. Alright, so this is the plus 20 minus all the bigger pieces that I picked out by hand that was, you know, obvious over a 1/4 inch. And panning it down, I do see a piece of wire in there. I don't know if it's gold, but it sure looks like gold. Right there at the very top, I'm going to go ahead and bring the camera in. Yep, it moved down to the bottom. I'll zoom in for you right there. Right there. So that's pretty cool. Everything else just looks... doesn't look like anything special. I don't see any clear rocks or anything that might be diamonds. And then we're going to go ahead and pan down this minus 20 stuff. There's a lot of black sand. This little bit is pretty heavy. So I'm down here to the end of this pan. Panned it all out and I'm not finding anything of interest. I mean, there's little garnets everywhere. Lots of hematite. Other than that, little flakes of mica. It just looks like river sand without gold in it, you know. No diamonds. At least not that I can see. So I'm not too surprised. I did read online, so it must be true, that diamonds are 19 times harder to find than gold. 19 times more rare. And yeah, going through this a couple times, I'm not seeing anything that resembles a small diamond or like a small piece of clear rock or yellow rock or anything like that. Translucent, transparent, nothing like that. So I guess we didn't get anything in the concentrates as far as the minus 30. Let's look over that plus 20 again and see if there's anything interesting in there that maybe you guys can identify. Alright, so this is the best solution I can come up with. It's, you know, I know a lot of you guys are experts at this stuff, and so I'm going to take a nice picture here, and if you can identify any of this stuff, leave it in the comment. I'll go up close to this stuff so you can see it. Hopefully it doesn't blur out. So number 7 and number 9, you can see there's a little bit of shine in it if I move them around. My guess is mica. Number 10, 11, 1, and 3, and also 8, they're green in color. Some of them have, it looks like, maybe some kind of quartz around them. However, I know they're really weathered, so it's hard to tell. I don't know what they are. Maybe you do. Number 2 is obviously some quartz. Number 12 is the most interesting. It has I don't know how to explain it. It's, if I clean this up and put it in a rock tumbler, it would probably be transparent almost, mostly, because you can see crystals inside of it. Some of them are dark, Some of them are like clear. All right, and here's some of the bigger rocks that I found on the ground. These ones here, I suspect them to be quartz. If you look closely, you can see some crystals and stuff in the top here. And it even has some of that, I don't know, sandstone, I don't know what you would call it. It looks like some of this was stuck to this. All right, this one here is kind of the same thing, except it has some black in it. Maybe it's graphite or something. Not sure. I don't suspect those to be kimberlites though. B here, I think this is some smoky quartz. C, I think it's really weathered because this one was in the river, but I don't know if it's chromium diopside. I don't know. I'll have to find out. It's green. Now D and E, I think they might be kimberlites. Don't know for sure. They don't look like they came from the mantle though. For me, they look like they came from the crust. If they came from the mantle, I would expect them to be more like molten looking, more dark, you know. So that's D, and then E is kind of the same thing. If you look closely, you can see little red specks in there that I think might be garnets. However, they don't have the shape of a garnet, so they probably are not. But you can see it's red in there. There's some red pieces in there. Alright, and then F, this was also in the river. It looks like a couple rocks cemented together, but I don't think it's cement. I'm not sure what that is. And so what I want to do is I want to test these things. I do know that if you put dilute hydrochloric acid on them, it'll fizz. So here I have some hydrochloric acid. I'm wearing gloves, I'm wearing safety glasses. Let's get a little bit on this glass and we'll put it right on there and see what happens. It's not fizzing. So my guess is that is not a kimberlite. Alright, let's try this other one here. It's on there. No fizzing. I could smell it though, that's for sure. Very strong smelling. Don't try this at home, and if you do, make sure you wear proper safety stuff and you're outside because it stinks. Alright. And then let's try this one as well. This is F. Yeah, it should be fizzing vigorously. And nothing's happening. So, I guess we gotta bring it to the experts. I wanted to test out number 12 here as well, this one with these little sparkles and stuff in it. Let's see if that's kimberlite. Let's see if it fizzes. Nothing. Alrighty then. Alright, well I'm at the Colorado, I'm at the School of Mines here, and today at the museum there's supposed to be a geology professor or someone that knows what he's talking about. So I'm going to take these rocks in, see if I can get them identified. I can't think of anybody better to ask.
kimberlites are normally green and red, I think. This could have some of the same minerals in it.
You think there's smoky quartz in that one?
Yeah, this is, I would just call it pretty much smoky quartz.
Oh.
These are rocks that you found?
Found that one in a river.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's dioxide.
No.
I think those are chlorite making it green.
Some of these, if you look at them up close, you may be able to find some garnets in there.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Like this one.
It makes sense because kimberlites are from the mantle. These are all really felsic. These are all really felsic minerals. So you wouldn't be looking for the mafic minerals, which would be the olivines and pyroxenes, so more blacker minerals.
So
if you're looking at there,
these weren't formed in the mantle.
No, these are crust.
Gotcha.
This is look for these darker, greener rocks. Maybe more massive, not as not as much not as much like not as much actual crystals.
So what do you think these are?
I don't know. It's good.
The quest continues.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we weren't able to positively identify the interesting ones, the ones that I really wanted to know. So I just have to keep searching. All right, so I was never able to positively identify these rocks. However, I did email a professor, geology professor, over at the University of Colorado in Boulder, and I sent him a couple pictures of the different samples. I numbered them and sent them the pictures, and he told me that he thinks that some of it looks like leucogranite or quartzite. Okay, a lot of it looks like quartz veins. Those obvious quartz pieces. The one piece of smoky quartz was positively identified at the museum. What else? Some of it looked like granite, and those pieces that I thought were kimberlites at first, those that sandstone-looking stuff, it's some kind of conglomerate. But what the clasts inside, he has no idea. But it's probably metavolcanic. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but if you Google metavolcanic, you'll be able to figure it out. I didn't get a chance to research that yet. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We know that it's not kimberlites, and now I know what to go look for when I do go up there, because the kids at the museum kind of gave me some hints on where to look for it. So the quest will be continued. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it. Also, check out my Facebook, and I'll be taking pictures and stuff as I'm out there hunting around for stuff. Hopefully you guys join me on Facebook to see that stuff. I also have an Instagram and a Twitter and stuff. It's all down there in the description and everything. So I'll see you guys either on the next live stream or on the next video. All right, thanks for watching.